Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Um, I'm going to start adding that picture I did at the very beginning uh, because this is my mom's channel, but she's just not good on camera. She said to me, she goes, I don't want to be on camera. You do the camera stuff. I'm going to be in the background. So I just want to do that so that her picture's up starting now. So just so that YouTubes can see that she's on, and she's been on videos and her voice has been on and so forth. But she said, Mary, you just have fun with that channel and enjoy it. You're so much better at it than I am. And she said, you do it, and I'll be glad to be in the background. And again, I don't want any of the YouTube stuff. We get monetized. I want her to have it, and let her be able to use the funds as she needs them for so forth and so on, and go from there. So, and we were the one that decided on like the blessing boxes. We came up with that idea together. So we're kind of running this YouTube channel thing together. But she's kind of said to me, Mary, you do the camera stuff and the computer stuff because you're so much better than I am. I'm just going to sit back and be in the background of it. I'm like, okay, Mom, that's fine. It's all I'll take care of this side. You just take care of the other side of it. So anyway, but I'm just going to start putting that picture up before I go into my lives, just so that she's on, because the channel's under her name. But I'm just having fun. She said, I'm glad I can help you with the, give you a place to connect and have fun. So I'm really glad of that. I will tell you all, what a day. That's all I can say. What a day. Um, a little bit of a frustrating day, I can say that. Um, I kind of debated on whether I was going to come on or not, and I decided, yep, I'm going to come on because I needed a place. And this is where we go to talk about things that are kind of difficult. I've kind of been going back and forth a little bit with a little bit of a migraine. I had one yesterday, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go. Um, on so it's just been one of them days. That's all I have to say. I'm gonna go into it in just a minute. Hold on just a second. Let people know. I hope everybody's day has been good. It's not been terrible because I have to get this baby blanket done for a baby shower coming up, and so it's something I've had to get done. So I've been focusing on that. My husband and I love, just kind of waiting for people to realize I'm on. Um, we love Heartland, so we got caught up in that, and we love When Calls the Heart. Those series, so those needed to get updated and see what was happening in that world. So we decided to do that. And then we have a little market by our house that has lovely sandwiches, and a little Amish market. So we stopped by that way on the way home and said, we're going to have, I cannot think today. We're going to have, sandwich and just sit and relax all day. And that's pretty much what we've done. So, that's pretty much what we've done. Hold on a second. I'm getting any comments for a minute. That's what we've done. So anyway, what we've done was that. Hi, John. How are you? Well, thank you for giving me the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Um, anyway, we go. My husband and I'm going to walk this kind of carefully, because this is not trying to, in any way, shape, or form, talk negative about somebody, because it's not what this channel is all about. It's not what I want to do. However, I'm allowed to be frustrated. I think that that's the point. I'm allowed to be frustrated. And I think that we all are allowed to be frustrated. Um, and so that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm kind of sitting there going, okay, let's, Mary, you're a little frustrated, so let's kind of talk about it. Um, my husband and I go, and we have been for the past 6 months, going through, and the only regret I have is that I really didn't do it sooner, because I really, really wish I had. I wish I had done it a lot sooner than when we started doing it. And we've been going to counseling. And so we've been going to counseling, and it's been really making, slowly but surely, a difference in kind of processing through some stuff. And like I said, I only wish that we had done it sooner. So we went today to our normal. It's normal counseling Monday. Counseling, mental health. This is mental health. And I thought, that's kind of perfect. Mental health month. This kind of talks about it. So I thought, well, we went to our normal thing. Well, the counselor had done an assessment the week before to kind of see where we are. We've been going for 6 months. And, you know, we went to our counseling session. And so we did that last week. And so she's kind of, reevaluating and going for, seeing where we are and kind of figuring what the plan is. Like, okay. And she goes, and understand this. We've been going together. Not that we need to go for marriage counseling, but we've been going together because we've been there to support each other, which I think is really good. It's been good for my husband. My husband is ADHD, probably has a little bit of autism, and tends to scroll sometimes. We know those the ADHD brains. We love them, but they tend to scroll, and I kind of will mention something and kind of get him back on track. And I can kind of pull stuff out every little bit, but oftentimes I'll sit there with my cup of coffee, and I'll sit there and crochet, and so forth, and let him just go through the session. But we're just kind of there for each other. We're just leaning on each other for support as we're kind of going through some of the stuff that's kind of just yucky. It's tough and it's yucky, but it's so necessary to go through. So I guess we weren't progressing as far, hi Kristen, as she would have liked us to. And so she said, I really want to try this. I want to just separate you all. And Josh, you wait out in the waiting room for your session, and then, well, when it's Mary's time, when it's your time, she waits out there. And my husband just shut right down. I was like, no, that's not what we told you. We wanted when we first came in. If I come in, I want Mary there. And I'm not doing this without her. I want her here. She can hear everything. She knows everything. And I need her support here. And so if you want me to proceed and continue, then she's going to be here. And she said, well, no, I'd rather just, I want to try it to see how we do if we do individual sessions. And he just pulled out his phone, and I looked at him, and I'm like, I know he's done. He's done. He's not going any further. He's not doing anything else. He's done. And so I'm trying to not go into too much detail. And so she just said, well, Mary, then she said, why don't Josh, you go out in the waiting room, and Mary we can have your session. Well, he went outside, and I can tell from his face, he was like ready to cry. I mean, Friday was the third heavenly anniversary of my dad's passing, and not passing, but his birthday. And so he wanted to kind of talk about that. He wanted to go through some stuff, and he was looking forward to today, kind of unloading some stuff and talking about some stuff and processing through some of this stuff. And we were kind of hit with this curveball we weren't truly expecting. And so I was sitting there going, okay. And she said, okay, well, Mary, are you ready for yours? And I said, I can't stay. I said, I can't stay. I said, I can't stay here while my husband's upset outside. There's just no way. I said, she said, "Well, why don't you leave and then go comfort him and let me know, about, any further sessions." And my husband got in the car and he's like, "I can't go back." And he says, "You're welcome to go back." And I was like, "Well, thank you." And I said, "How can I go back? How can I stay in a session when I know he's outside upset?" He was visibly upset. I could see it as he's walking out of the room. I got into the car. He's having a mild panic attack. He takes a while to build up trust with somebody and then to go into some of this really hard stuff that he's kind of had to process. He had a really, at times, difficult childhood and difficult teenage years and so forth. And so to talk about some of the stuff and open up to some of it and process it and trust somebody has taken all this time to build this relationship, and now it's just gone. And I'm like, I was watching it unfold thinking, you're going to clam him right up. I mean, I just knew it. And so now we've spent 6 months, and I know we may not have moved as quickly as the person would have liked us to move and so forth. And when I originally went into counseling, I really thought I'm just trying to deal with life. Kind of an empty nester, kind of syndrome. My daughter's gotten married. I need to kind of understand all this. Hi, Lydia. I need to kind of understand all this. I'm just trying to kind of get my sea legs and deal with all that stuff. And so, I'm just trying to figure this whole thing out. So that's why I went to counseling originally. And I was going to support him. I didn't really realize that I probably haven't dealt. The shirt's just not cooperating with me today. I didn't feel like getting too fancy all today. I just sat there going, I just really don't feel like I need to do it, process anything. And I've dealt with all this stuff. I don't need to go through it. And what I found out in going to counseling was, there was stuff that I just really hadn't worked through and I hadn't processed and I hadn't really taken the time to process. I really didn't realize it bothered me. So I was kind of, when I initially went in, the person did a PTSD test, and I didn't have much of it. I guess I went up a couple points from the last one, but I really didn't realize that I needed to process anything. And I guess I did. But now, I've got to start this whole process all over again. He was starting to make really good progress in the sense that, he was kind of unloading stuff, and he said, I'm noticing a difference when, if I get angry with somebody, I'm noticing a difference that I'm able to calm myself down and all this kind of stuff. And I feel like the rug's been taken out from under us to some degree, and we don't live in a huge town. So it was kind of hard, not difficult, but it was something that I struggled to find somebody originally that we could go to that took our insurance. And my husband's like, I ain't going back. I'm done. I'm not going back. This is not, you can go back, but I'm not. I'm like, how can I go back? How can I go back? And this kind of goes to some degree is I feel like I know they've got, and some of it is just insurance requirements, because if they don't show, well, there's being progress here and they've got to do it, then they can kick it back and not pay for it. I get all that. I understand that. Let me say this real quickly off the bat. The person, I'm not going to mention who the person was that we went to. I would highly recommend her. She really is very good. Highly recommend her if somebody's going in there individually, or if they're going in for marriage counseling or so forth. But in this situation, my husband from day one said, if I go to counseling, I want you there. And it's not necessarily a codependency, but My husband will talk a lot more if I'm around. Surprise, 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 really, honestly. No, people know why I started my YouTube channel. Um, my mom and I did, and she said, I said, "What do you think about doing this?" She goes, "That's fine, but I don't want to be on camera. I'll be on the back scenes." I said, "That's fine. I have no problem running it for you, Mom, and I'll have you on and so forth and so on." But she's like, "You do it. I don't want to be on camera." I was like, I'm fine with that." And it has been just a really good it's been really good for me, and you'll see her in the chat as Mama Blessed Her Crochet. And I do plan to have her on, um, you know, because I think it'd be really kind of cool to do some interviews and some things and some talks with her. And I'll get her on here, but excuse me. But I don't know. I feel baffled. Um, I I understand where they were coming from, but I also felt as if it would have been awful nice to say to us, "This is the route I'm thinking of going. Now you know what I'm thinking of. Can we just see what progress we can make in the next month? And if I don't feel as if we're making enough of a headway, that I can't see that we are, because I did feel like we were turning a corner a little bit, and not necessarily so much me, because I can pretty much talk to anybody, but more for him. Um, if we can see where it's going to go, and then go ahead and go forward. And if it's not, then maybe you'll need to find another counseling situation so that you can have it like you want. And I just felt like it was just this it was this kind of magic, rug just ripped out from underneath us, um with no warning. And I I didn't think that was cool. That's where I was, and I was like, if I sat there and thought, I can't stay in here, and I knew it. I thought I can't be in here. There was no conflict of interest. We really did it separately, but there was times where he would start talking and he would scroll a little bit, or I knew what he was trying to say, but it wasn't coming out, or I knew what needed to be hit. Like last week, there was something that he said. He was starting down a rabbit hole again to try to avoid the subject, and I helped to bring him back a little bit, and I said something. He just let it go, and it was like, boing, the Band-Aid opened up, the wound opened up, and he just let it go. I was like, I know my husband best. It's just, I think if we were in this 3 months in, but we've been 6 months in establishing a relationship, to sit here and go, okay, now we got to start all over again. Mentally, it's not good for him. I mean, he's just been kind of, um, I've spent most of my day, usually not all the times, but I do quite a little bit of time just in my room, sitting and crocheting and so forth. And he watches his stuff on the TV. I've spent most of the day in the living room with him, just hanging out and, watching stuff to keep him, just to kind of do it. And we've kind of hung out, and it's been really nice. And we do that a lot. But I don't know. It's just been one of them days. I can honestly say I just sat here going, huh? You know, um, I really don't know quite how to feel, except just not understanding, and he said, "Well, you can go back to talk with her, with the person." I'm like, "I can't. I can't." I it was hard to see him somewhat crushed, and to see him crushed like that. He was building trust, he was opening up, and I know it was not as fast paced, but it takes him a long time to get there. And just to kind of have him just within seconds just be just be crushed was just, I'm like, I don't want to step back in that place. I mean, it was hurtful and frustrating, and you don't do that to people I care about. And I know you're professional, and you have a job to do, and I understand that, and you have insurance. Believe me, I don't want to deal with insurance. I get it all. I do think it could have been handled better than it was, and I think we could have gone on a different directory and different path. Um, so if you have any prayers, just be praying that I can find a new one that we have to start all over again with. I mean, I think that's the hard thing, is we put some traction underneath our feet. And now I kind of feel like now we have to start this whole process all over again. Um, you know, eh, I don't know. I came on because I thought I want people to understand one thing. It would be easy to say, well, that didn't work, so we're just not going to try. We're not going to go forward. We're not going to go looking again and put ourselves back out there again. And I think that that's the wrong mentality to have. I really do. I think that if you have things that you need to process, and I did this for a reason at 7 o'clock, because 8 o'clock, I want to send you all over to the lifeboat. Um, uh, you know, if you are going, if you have had something happen, um, it would be easy for me to say, oh, well, just forget it. I'm not going to try to, I'm not going to try to find a new one and start all over again. But I think that's, hi, Crystal. I think that's the wrong mentality, as much as I want to. I can look back at the time that we spent in the 6 months that we've spent in counseling and go, okay, thank you. Because I just wished that we had started it sooner. I think he wishes, my husband certainly wishes, that he would have started it sooner, and hadn't carried it around for as long as he did, because it's not good for your mental well-being to hold on to stuff. It has impacted his life. And he said just in the past 6 months, I really wish I had done this a lot sooner. And now we have to start all over again. And we will. I'm kind of a determined individual over here. Can't tell, can I? Can you? I'm determined, and I will make sure that he goes and continues. But we're going to make sure that it is very well understood This is the way he would like to, and I think that's the important part. He wanted, he, if he, I was fine either way. I loved his support when I was in there. Um, but I loved the support when I was in there. But if he didn't want to stay in there with me, that was fine. But he said very specifically, I want Marion here with me. That was, so he wanted it. He knew that that's the way he wanted to do it. So I think when we find the next one, it's going to be very well understated that if you want me here, then this is the way we're going to do it, because this is the way I feel more comfortable. And I think it's important that the patient is heard and the patient is listened to. And if it's not working, that you find someone else. It's hard when it's a counseling session, because you're sitting there going, you've invested this time and this trust, telling somebody some really difficult stuff, to be kind of just, now we got to start this whole thing again. We got to go through all this stuff. We got to go through all these stories again. It's just discouraging. It was really discouraging. And again, I'm not bad mouthing anybody. And I'm not putting anybody down. I would recommend this person. They're good. We continue to go because they were good. I don't agree with the direction she wants to take it in. He's not going back. And if that's the direction she feels we should go in, and she's doing it because the insurance may kick back if they don't feel that there's enough progress, and I understand it. That's fine. I get it. I understand it. I'm not mad. I'm just discouraged and a little frustrated. But at the same time, I can sit there and say, I gained a lot of knowledge over the past 6 months that I can only look back at those 6 months going, why didn't I do this beforehand? Really, honestly, why did I not sit there and say I needed to, probably because I was raising a daughter with autism and I was exhausted 99% of the time. I should have gone. I should have gone and sat in a counselor's office and gone through some of this junk instead of waiting until I'm almost, you ain't going to know my age. I think I can tell you. I am doing a giveaway for my birthday, and it's going to contain yarn and some other goodies. But I sit there going, why did I not do this beforehand? Why did I wait? And my husband's saying the same thing. It's just, it's discouraging, but I just want people to realize that if you need to go talk to somebody, go. Don't hold back. There's no shame in going to a counselor. There's no shame taking care of your mental health. And good night if you have somebody that's willing to sit in a session with you because you feel, and I will say that we were told that it was a beautiful thing to see, my husband and I, who just, you really feed off each other, you compliment each other, you love each other, you support each other. That is very obvious. And I'm grateful for that. I'm thankful for that. I truly married my best friend. We will celebrate 17 years come this July. I truly married my best friend. And I'm grateful for that. It's not been easy. It hasn't been an easy road. It still hasn't easy. There is, when he's ready to tell some of his story, I've told him, my channel's always open. You don't even have to show your face. But there was something that he may want to talk about just to make people aware of it. But when he's ready, my mom's and my channel will be here for him to discuss that if he feels that he wants to make people aware of it. But I don't know, y'all. You could probably tell I'm tired. I'm a little melancholy, to say the least. I'm kind of just saying, where am I? I know where I am, but kind of just kind of like disbelief. Um, and then I probably should have been on the phone today, calling places and finding out, a new place. But I didn't have it. I just felt like something took the air right out of my sails, or took a balloon and poop, pop, and I just deflated. So I didn't do that today. So I'll do it tomorrow. And I'll go and pick up that phone and start calling places and find a place, and we'll start again. Um, I don't think that you have to spend your entire life sitting in a counseling office. Hope to goodness gracious not. But I don't know. I've kind of felt it's not necessarily a bad thing to have somebody to go to. And it may not be somebody I go to every week. Well, now I have to change places. But I may go I may go maybe once a month down the road, where I'm just going in to just let some stuff loose and just talk. Have a safe place to go in and just tell my frustrations to a little bit. The lifeboat has, and my friendships that I have made through the lifeboat have been a tremendous help to me. But I can honestly say that going through counseling and going through therapy and processing some of this stuff has made me realize that I tend to tell my brain a lot of lies. I tend to listen to those old tapes running through my head that aren't true. There's going to be a discussion about how we as that this whole connection thing. There's going to be people we find that we drive we connect with really well, and there's other people that we just doesn't mean that we're in any way, shape, or form, whether it's through the YouTubes or in our church or in our workplace or whatever it is, where personality wise we just don't mesh. And it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with us. It just means that our personalities just don't go together well. They like us, but there's not somebody that they easily would be able to hang out with. Now, Kristen Melinda and I have been on my channel. Kim, Kelly B. Hi, hot damn, how you doing? Kelly B. And, several, I'm trying to remember all of them right now. Kelly B, Kristen, my other's Keeper. And I've done a couple now of letting people in on the stream and met some wonderful people. And we've collaborated, and they are just the easiest of people to talk to, and really tremendous friends. Kristen and I have a little problem, just a little one. We do Minnesota goodbyes. Yeah, and we'll start talking, and then it's like 45 minutes later, and we're still talking to each other. And that's something I treasure. I, honest to goodness, treasure her friendship, along with the others I've made through here and off of YouTube. But a lot of well, it's been a day. It's been a day. That's all I can say. Uh, it's just been a day. And so having been a, having a counselor to kind of help whittle through some of these things that I've kind of had those tapes that I play in my head that I know are not true. I know people like me, and I know that nobody wants to not be my friend and all those kind of things. Those old tapes just all trigger back, and they all have a connection point, and we've started to find those connection points, and the tapes are breaking. Not only through the friendships I've made on the YouTubes and the people in my life and the, friendships that I have found and all that kind of stuff. It's just amazing to see all that. And then to kind of have the counselor just kind of say, well, this is the direction I want to go in. And we're like, I'd have been, let me put it this way, I'd have been all right with it. I'd have been able to deal with it. My husband, no. And he said very clearly, I don't want to do this. If I'm going to be in this session, I want my wife here. I want her here. I can't, I talk more. I'm more comfortable. She's my safe place. And I want her here. So if we're going to do this thing, we're not going to change that. And, and that to me is what maybe should have been respected and maybe tried a little bit longer. I don't know. It was just like, why even we were almost sitting there, two of us going, why did we even bother to come today? It was just, but yet I would refer somebody over there, and I would refer somebody to that person. I just really wish, hi Kristen, I really wish that he would have been listened to. And I just saw his face just be crushed. Sorry. I was like, so you ready for yours? And I'm like, I can't stay. I couldn't stay. That was real hard for me. And I appreciate him telling me, yeah, you can go back. And I'm like, no, I can't. I can't. Sorry, I can't. Hi, Don. I can't. I can't. I mean, it was just like, he was just crushed. My husband's had a hard life. He's had a lot of stuff happen to him that should have never happened. Honest to goodness. It sucked. And it's not my story to tell, but it sucked. And it shouldn't have happened. And he shouldn't have had to go through it. That's simple. And he's finally getting to the point where he realizes, I've got to talk about this stuff. And there was a time last week where I said one thing that I knew he needed to have that Band-Aid rip off. And he did like I'm doing, and he just wept. And I got up from my seat, and I went over there and put my hand on his shoulder. I said nothing. I just comforted him right there. And that's what he needed. And I put my hand on his shoulder for about 5 minutes, and I went and sat down. Explain why they are asking that you guys certainly that they've helped your hubby to feel heard. Yep. He wasn't heard at all. I'm not gonna be able to see comments. He wasn't heard. Um, and like I said, yes, I would solely. If you're gonna go solely, I would say yeah, go. If you're gonna go for marriage counseling, go. Place is great. So is she. Um, and I don't think it's totally her. I think it's all the mumbo jumbo in the back that the insurance is requiring. They're looking at statistics and numbers to say they're not moving fast enough. They're not moving at the rate we want them to move on. So if they're not moving by this sheet fast enough, then it's not working. Yeah, it is. And realize if you are dealing with an ADHD individual, oftentimes, and I had to do it every once in a while because I could see he was scrolling to get him back to the back to the topic at hand. Yeah. If we were not progressing as fast as they would have liked us to. And if we hadn't and they couldn't show the insurance company that we were progressing, apparently to their statistically numbers, our PTSD test, which he struggles with that. He has that. I have little minor ones. I got a little worse, but like I said, I didn't realize, and I said that I had stuff I really should have dealt with when I came in. I was just coming to just talk and have a place to vent because I was learning how to be an empty nester and deal with all the transitions in my life and all that kind of stuff. And that's originally why I went, just to support my husband. But if they can't show the insurance company that we're progressing enough, then they could kick it back and say they're not covering it. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's working through some very, very heavy trauma stuff. I haven't even begun. I did a little bit, and I will be going on, excuse me. I will be going on to my other's keeper on Thursday talking about my first marriage. I haven't even gotten to that yet. That's a whole other mother. That's a whole ball of worms. I haven't even begun to talk about that yet. And we were going to work on my driving and see if I could get behind the wheel ever again. We were going to work on, I have a great anxiety when it comes to the dentist, so we're going to try to work on that. Now we got to start all over again. How can there be a timeline for something like that? I 100% agree. And again, this is not bad mouthing the therapist. I want that very clearly stated. Hi, John. This is very, very clearly stated. This is not bad mouthing her because this is a system. When no matter where you go, when they turn in reports to the insurance company, they're looking at numbers. I can tell you, looking at my husband over the past 6 months. Well, I'm glad you got to kept me alive. This is not my normal. It's Mary smiling today. This has just been a day. You know, when they're looking at numbers to say, they're looking at numbers and saying, okay, well, that's the numbers scale of it. They're not looking at all the stuff that kind of goes with it. I mean, I can tell you personally, I've seen a difference in, my husband's, the way he acts and how, let's put it this way. And my husband's stepfather was bountiful, was not the nicest of individuals. In my session today, I was asked if we could focus on my ADHD. At times, I feel like my ADHD is hindering my progress in therapy. But you had a therapist realizing, and I even said that to the therapist, realize he has ADHD. Let's get him back on track. And I know how to get him back on track. I've been married to the man for 17 years, and I met him in 97. So let's just figure out, we were friends up until 2005, and then we were married in 2007. So we've known each other for longer, for over 25 years. So I know him inside and out. And so his stepfather was not, his stepfather didn't have a father raising him, raising him. And so he didn't know how to be a father necessarily. And he wasn't the nicest to my husband. And so a lot of times, my husband would say, his stepfather's name and then talk about a story. Well, that's something that he has not really done. As the time goes on, as the 6 months have gone on, he hasn't really been doing that, which is really, really good. It's not like, oh, well, that person, I'm not going to mention his name. That person did this to me. And, oh, well, it's not repeating these stories over and over again. Just like, honey, I know you have these stories and I know they were painful and I want you to talk about them, but you're repeating the tapes over. You're repeating the trauma over. You're just ruminating it over and over and over again. And he hasn't been doing that. You're welcome, John. And that's been really, really good. And he said, slowly and surely I'm unpacking these bricks that I've had carrying on my shoulders. And it's just like, it's just like, now it all has to stop. And we have to start all over again. And he'll do it. But it's frustrating, to say the least. It's absolutely frustrating and discouraging to see him just, and then I was just like, how am I supposed to go back? How am I supposed to go back? I can't go back. And I was sitting there going, that's fine, John. Mary is fine. I'm sitting there going, I'm supposed to sit here? There was no way I could sit there for an hour while I knew he was outside in the parking lot in tears and he was having a mild panic attack. There was no way I could do it. Sorry, I can't stay here and participate in this session. I can't do it. Kristen, I don't know if she's here, if she can do it for me. If not, I'll drop in a minute. I just sat there and I can't do that. But I wanted to come on because, first of all, I needed to talk because apparently I didn't get to talk today in my session. But I also felt like I wanted people to understand that it's Mental Health Month. And if we've had something happen where we've had, kind of somebody have something like this happen. Here you go, Dawn. I'm dropping Bella's link. It's easy to get discouraged and sit there going, I'm not going to bother going to find another one. No, we weren't done yet. The discouraging part is we have to start all over again. That's the discouraging part. Um, that's okay, Kristen. I know you're taking care of a little one. That's fine. It's just a discouraging thing. And that in itself goes back to the insurance companies. I don't think anything should be measured by number. If you feel yourself is making progress, it doesn't have to necessarily be in a number form. It can be, are you feeling like whatever counseling or therapy you're in, especially when it comes to mental health therapy, you feeling like it is helping you progress and helping you get through this thing called life, then why are we doing this by number? Are we having AI read our files now and decide that just because a file doesn't have all this stuff that it's not going to work and kick back? I don't know. Kristen's doing an awesome job. We've decided we're sisters. She was one of the first people I reached out to today. Hi, big family. First person I reached out to today. Yeah, I'll have them 5. I can't say any more than today. And I've been kind of quiet today. I've been kind of quiet. Hi, Yarny Smile. I've been kind of quiet today. Part of it is because I've had a headache. I've had a migraine. I had a migraine last night, really bad one last night. I've had to really finish this blanket that I have that's really important. And this due by the 18th. And I've just been quiet. I had a headache yesterday, and I'm kind of floundering between having a migraine and not. And I'm just really tired, but I've been quiet. I can tell you, Kristen was one of the first people I reached out to. You've got to have your 5. You know, and it doesn't mean, see, I don't consider, and maybe that's something, I don't know. I don't consider people like my daughter and my mother and my husband part of that 5. I consider them, they're in the core part. They're there. I can wake them up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning with nothing, I can wake my husband up. I can wake they're just there. They're there. They don't have to be in my 5. They're just there. But I ran to a dear friend today who works in this field a little bit, who I was able to kind of bounce some stuff off of because I was trying to not terribly upset my husband, who was already upset, and at the same time trying to process this. And he just said to me, I can't talk about this right now. I just can't. It's going to take me a while to process this. I can't talk about this. This is too hard right now. Can we do something else besides focusing on this? I can't talk about it. I love you, but I can't. So we stopped off and got sandwiches and came home, and we've been catching up on series. If y'all haven't watched Heartland, go ahead and watch it. It's awesome. And we've just been chilling, and I've been working on a blanket. We've just been focusing on other things because we're somewhat sitting here baffled. Yeah, too much stress. You can beat on yourself. Yep. Oh, absolutely. And see, here's the thing that I happen to have face. Fibromyalgia and stress never go together. Two of them are opposites as you could be. And this had been a constant thing on our Monday mornings for my husband and I, and a place to just go and talk. And thank you, Yarny. And that was kind of just kind of, well, um, you know, um, kind of taken a little bit away from us today. And just so it catches people up, my husband and I go to counseling. We don't go to marital counseling. We go and, hi, Mon, we deal with things. You know, we just go to be support for each other. He does his session. I usually sit and crochet, and I do mine. And the counselor wanted to split that and have us separate, and figured we would process things and things would move faster if we were separate. And my husband was like, no, I want to do my session with my wife in this room. I will talk more. I will stay focused more. I don't want to do it separate. But apparently we weren't moving fast enough on the progressive wheel, or whatever in the heck you want to call it. So that's what happened. And she said, okay, are you ready for yours? And I'm like, I almost was standing there going, and he left the room, and I just said, you know, I've got to leave. I've got to go take care of him. I can't stay here. And so that was kind of like, it was just ripped out from underneath us. And I think, like I said, she is really good. She is. I'm not going to sit here and lie. She's good. She's helped me in the 6 months I've gone. I think she'd be an excellent counselor for somebody that's going solo. She's an excellent counselor for somebody that's going for marriage counseling. And maybe it will be better if we were separate. And maybe it's going to take a little longer if we're together on my husband's side. But that's what my husband wants. He doesn't want me. He wants me to be there. That's simple. So it takes us 3 or 4 more months. Oh, well. It's what the patient wants. And then it's still, in the end of it, goes back to insurance. No warning sign. Not one bit. So let's understand this. There's somebody, my husband most likely has autism, high functioning, very intelligent man, and most likely, and definitely ADHD. So we're springing this on him like this. Not to say, well, let's just see, now that we kind of know that this may be something we want to do in the next month. Let's kind of focus a little bit more on stuff, get a little bit more down in the dirt, if you want to put it. And then if I feel in a month we want to just try this, you all discuss and see if you'll be even willing to do it. She just, and I'm like, you don't do that. Yeah. If they had to make changes like this, that the thing to do it would be to start talking about long before it was actually changing. Absolutely. And the problem is that Friday was my dad's 3rd heavenly birthday. Now, for some reason, my husband really struggled this year with his birthday coming up. Probably because the court adoption for my husband and my daughter was final. So it was probably a little harder for him. And for some reason, he was struggling, and he was looking forward to going and dumping today about what was all these emotions that were tied to it. And that was taken away. And it just, I mean, but I can just tell you all, having those connection points and having your core 5 people are really, really important. You've got to have people outside of your family that you can go running to. And the first person I ran to today was Kristen. And I said, I'm really mad. And actually, no. Well, she was one I did after. Actually, it just happened to be that the light boat was on. And I turned it on and I went running to them. I went running to my lifeboat family. And in the process, I went running to Kristen too, almost in it's about the same time. Then when Admiral Tommy came on the lifeboat, my husband turned it on. And he's like, I don't often need the lifeboat, but I need it today. Not that he does, when I'm on the lifeboat, he'll turn it on. It's not part of his daily routine like it is mine. And that's fine. He loves the lifeboat. He's thankful for it. He's grateful because he said it's just changed your life. But he just said to me, boy, did I need the lifeboat. And he was just listening to Tommy today. And I said to everybody in the boat, I said, and then he had to call the doctor's office for something else, and half an hour into it, and he got off, and I said, everybody, I'm just going to kind of listen for a little bit. I may get off because I have a headache. So he went running there. But having your core 5 people, your 5 friends that know you enough that can go, hey, I need to run because this, we're not talking about, I mean, I've had my doctor, change on me because he's left the practice. But this is a whole different thing. This is dealing with your mental health. And no insurance company should run, in my estimation, of whether they think that you're progressing enough or not. All right, Dawn, thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. Nobody should have to do that. But don't stop. If you realize and you look back and go, this has really helped me in my mental health, then go find another one. And as much and as annoying and frustrating as this is, going to have to be to restart this process again, I will restart it. But I'm going to restart it a lot easier than my husband will. Because my husband takes a long time, a while, to build trust. I was not even surprised that 6 months into his counseling, he was really farther behind in being able to trust anybody than I was. And that's okay. I knew he was going to be like an onion, one peel at a time. He was going to take a while to peel back that onion. And it was okay. As long as it took. He may take him a year before he really starts peeling back that onion. Because his way of dealing with pain his entire life has been to laugh it, make fun of something, stuff it, or not even be heard. And that's how he's dealt with his pain his entire life. It's not healthy, but that's how he's dealt with it. So now we're going to have to start all over again, building those layers of trust back up. But this only shows to make sure that you're an advocate for yourself and your family members. See, when we go into another counseling place, it will be very clear right off the bat, just so you know, this is how it's going to work. If he ever wanted to be in a counseling session on his own and by himself, I'd walk out of the room. If he ever said to me, honey, I need to talk to this person for a little bit by myself, I'd be go, okay, that's fine. And I'd leave. And if I ever felt that way, I tell him. But I can literally tell my husband anything. And I'm grateful beyond belief for that. So, anyway, that was my day. A day that I really, I would really prefer not to repeat, actually. Because it was a rough day. It was rough. Hold on a second. I'm trying to go in and make sure. I kind of probably look like I'm a little rough rough around the edges today. I think that's probably where I am today. But I think that's for sure. I look a little rough around the edges. Don't we all sometimes? Sometimes we look rough around the edges. Doo-doo. Hold, please. We all heard that. Hold, please. Okay, he's not coming on until 8:15. Mr. Our captain. So I'm going to drop, not this one. I need to start working on the other channel I set up. And if anybody can help with watch hours, I'd be more than grateful to that one for sure. Yeah, I kind of thought, oh, should I come on? And I'm not trying to talk in any way, shape, or form negative about the person, and I don't want to, because that's not what I'm attempting to do at all. I think they're very good, or we wouldn't have continued to go to them. But at the same time, I don't think it was handled the best way it could have. I really don't. I'm just making sure before I get rid of everybody that I'm connected with everybody that came in, because I want to make sure, if you haven't subscribed, please do all the subscribing things. We're at 5:30. I just need watch hours. That is all I need. So I think, John, did I drop yours in your link? I have to check and see. Hold on a second. Thought I did. Maybe I didn't. Okay, I'm going to drop John's in here. I may have. I'm tired. Kristen, I may not make it to your live tonight. Whew. I'm a little tuckered. I love how you describe your relationship with your husband. Couple goals. I'm sorry it happened today, but glad you have each other. Oh, I don't know what I'd do without my husband. I love him to pieces. For those that don't know, on Thursday, and I will drop her channel so people have that one, I will be on my Other's Keeper. You may not make it to a live again. You tell me that, and then you pop on in, girl. That's fine. I love you anyway. Oh my goodness. My brain is fried tonight. I can honestly say it really is. It is fried. I just feel like I just want to go hide in a corner. I know I'm not allowed to. Am I? Drop your link, Kristen. Make sure you drop your link. I will be on my Other's Keeper on Thursday. I think at 8:00 Eastern, to talk about my first marriage. I really want to make sure that it's not that I'm bashing anybody. That's not what I want to do at all. But I want to talk about it as a way of kind of helping people realize the warning signs to look out for, to be in an abusive relationship, and what not to do, and things to be looking out for, and how much we need to value ourselves. Mon says that's discussing how insurance companies control us to limit here how much a refund will get, up to $800 a year, which is completely disgusting and unfair. I agree. So I will be on her thing Thursday. And then on the 20th, I'm going to put a community tab. I will be on, let me drop this channel too, so you all have it. I will be on the Art Junkie. I don't know if I'm going to make it to LiPo tonight. I think I go to sleep. I'm going to be on the Art Junkie, I think the 20th, which I think is a Monday. I'm having to start a calendar. She has guests on. It will not be simulstream, so you'll have to go to her channel to see it. But she just has people on, and they come on and they crochet and they talk and they connect. So I'm looking tremendously forward to that. I'm working with another content creator to do dual stream. Anybody that's willing, if you're a supporter on my channel and have a channel and want to, I don't know if there's a way I can do it. If there's, you all can go on and see it. I got it the next time I come on. It won't be today. Maybe tomorrow I'll come on. I'll show it. It was just a 6-minute commercial, a 1-minute commercial. I will upload it the next time so we all can see it. And it just tells people exactly just what my channel's about. That's all it does. And it's a great way to be able to, show exactly, in detail of what you're trying to see. If I still have it saved on my computer. Hold on a second. I think I got rid of a bunch of stuff, but maybe I didn't get rid of that. It would have been smart not to get rid of that, right? Nope, I did. No, I was trying to make my computer not work so hard. But it's just a great way to be able to, let me see. It's just a great way to be able to have you be able to advertise your channel. So if anybody's interested, well, I've got a few people on. I can do this, I think, if my computer will like it. Sometimes it doesn't always like things I do because it's old like me. But if anybody would like to, I will be more than glad to offer that. Just send me, it has to be like 59 seconds. And I can go ahead and put that in into my shorts. I've done it with Miss Dragons and I've done it with my Other's Keeper. And it's just a really great, I don't think it's going to do it. It's probably not going to do it. It's not liking me too much right now. But it's a great way to do it so that you guys can we can advertise, and then I can send you my little 1-minute commercial and you guys can watch that. So that becomes a really good way of being able to show people each other's channels. And I should actually put it on my computer so that you guys can, hold on a second, that you guys can be able to see it. Hold on a minute. There. I don't know if y'all can still hear me. Just give me a second. Give me just a minute. And I'll see if I can get it. And then that way I'll have it on my computer and I can show you guys. And this way you'll know what I'm talking about. Talk amongst yourselves for just a second. Seeing if I can get back into it, since I should have it on here. Because I sent it myself through Messenger. Oh, here it is. Okay. We may be okay in a minute. I don't want to forward it. Don't we love we love technology, isn't it great? Oh, you're probably hearing it too. Okay. Now I got to figure out how to pause that one. All right, hold on a second. I got to figure out how to. There we go. All right, I'm back. I think I got it. So hold on a second so y'all can see it. and then I'm going to keep it on my computer, and then that way I can show people. Oh, I got it. See, I'm learning all this technology stuff, but I want you all to go over the light boat in a minute. Let's see. Let's see if we get it. If we get it, then I'll leave it on my computer, and then and you don't have to crochet to be a part of our. Okay. Boy, I'm learning all this new technology stuff. Okay. So if anybody wants to, if anybody would like to, they can send me a little commercial of, don't you love my face, y'all? A little 59 second commercial about their channel, and I will gladly put it up as a short. I've done it with I've done it, what did I do now? I've done it with my with Miss Dragon, and who was the other one? Miss Dragon and my other keeper. So I'm glad to swap commercials. So this just gives you an idea of what I'm looking for, and I'll play mine. And you don't have to crochet to be a part of our community. Welcome to Blessed to Crochet. My name is Mary, and you don't have to crochet to be a part of our community. I'm a fibromyalgia warrior and survivor, so we talk about some difficult topics, but we have some fun along the way. This is a safe place to build connection and friendships. You're going to hear me talk a lot about connection, because it is a tool you can put in your toolbox to deal with chronic pain, as well as, for me, crochet. I'm blessed to be able to crochet, but what are you blessed to do? The lighthouse is on here when you need it, and everyone is always welcome.
Absolutely.
So please stop by, make some connections. And as I always say at the end of every show, stay connected, y'all. Bye. I have an old computer, y'all, and it doesn't always want to work like I want it to. Anyway, that is the little commercial. So if you're interested, you can send it to me, and I will gladly send you that. And I guarantee you it's not as choppy as what that was, but it gives you an idea. And then you can send me the little short commercial, and I will be more than glad to put it on. And that way we can help each other, and that's what it's all about. It's all about helping each other. We're not trying to do this alone. We're trying to do it together. And I will post the link of the short down there below, so you can see it a little bit more clearly. But again, if you're a channel, you're here supporting me, you want to take my little short and we'll flip-flop, that would be great. You post mine in your shorts, I'll post yours in my shorts. It doesn't sound great, does it? That would be great. I'm also very happy to collaborate with anybody. If anybody has a farm or a homestead, or they're going on a scenic walk, or they goodness gracious, they they're doing a tourist site or what have you that they vlog from, I would be more than glad to work with a content creator, or they just want to sit and crochet. They don't have to go for a walk or anything like that. I'd be more than glad to do that with them. It's a great way to introduce each other's to each other's audience. So, in this journey, we're all trying to help each other. We're not going to get, I didn't get to 530 subscribers without the help of a lot of people, and not just the people off the lifeboat, the crochet community. And what has happened is, as I have expanded, I've expanded myself into homesteading channels, channels with farms on them, fishing channels, venture channels, all these things. And what has happened is I've expanded my connections. And what I have found out is we have a lot of stuff in common. We all have something in common with each other. We're not in this, just all come back to just wanting to have connection. And so I'm all in for it. And so if you're somebody that has a channel that you think we could do a great collaboration with, maybe you're a channel that does canning. I've always been very interested in canning. Well, maybe you have some wonderful tips and so forth. Like Bella, I would gladly have her on. She could show us her garden and her chickens and her farms and all that kind of stuff. I'd love to do that. Uh, if you're a homestead channel and you do canning and would love to give us tips and stuff and show it, I'd be more than glad. I'm going to be going on hopefully a yarning channel that dies. I said I'd be glad to go on your panel and just sit there and chit chat. So I really do believe that with people doing live content, the more and more that you can get and collaborate with people and show, yes, show, those connections and those friendships. Yes, that was my mother and myself and my beautiful daughter, Christina, um, at the wedding, at her wedding. And that's what I use as my profile picture. And that's kind of the basis of why I did that other channel, Blessing Through Connections, because it certainly has blessed my life. And like I said earlier at the very beginning, I'm going to start throwing that picture up. This is my mom's, really the head of Blessed to Crochet. Um, but I just said to her, listen, I think we could do this on the YouTubes. I tried a little bit on Facebook, but she said, I think we could do this on the YouTubes. And she goes, Mary, I ain't going on camera. She goes, I'm not the camera girl. She said, I'll be behind the scenes. And she said, you run with the YouTubes. And she said, I'll be fine with that. So, like the blessing boxes, those are all things we've kind of come up with. We've done that. That was kind of our idea. So we're working this thing together. She's been on camera, but, we know how the YouTubes work sometime. And I thought, well, if the channel's really under her name, I'm just helping her with the camera side of it because she wouldn't be able to figure all this stuff out. She's been on video, and I do have every intention of bringing her on and having chit chats with her. And I brought my daughter on. I said I thought it'd be probably a good idea to show my mom's face at the very beginning of it. So I'll start throwing up that picture. But she just said to me, that's fine. I have no problem with you doing the YouTubes with the Blessed to Crochet. She said, but you do it. She said, I'm just going to sit back and be the mama. And I'm like, well, that'll work for me. So I think I've rattled this enough, haven't I, today? I really want to make it very clear. Excellent. She really is excellent. And I will never give out the name. But I just think that the insurance companies and so forth need to listen to the people. I really do. I feel that that's really, really important. And I just don't stop. If you're finding success with it and something's happened and there's a bump in a road, don't stop. Go find another one. And the same thing. Maybe God has closed this door because He has a better one waiting for us in the wings. Wouldn't that be nice? It was just hard today, and I really appreciate this place to come and talk and connect with my friends. I appreciate friends like Mona and Kristen and Mither's Keeper and the Lifeboat. They've just been tremendous help, and I'm very, very grateful for them. Um, Surround yourself with connection, y'all. It really can be life changing. I think if I hadn't had connection today, you know what I would have turned to? Food, because that would have been a lot more comforting. And I didn't. I turned to friends. And I turned to what I knew was going to help, because food wasn't going to do anything. Food was just going to stuff it even further. I was hurting today, and my body physically may hurt a little bit tomorrow, a little bit more than normal, and that's okay. But maybe we'll see what I'm interested to see if running to connection first, whether or not I would have been as sore. I may not be as sore tomorrow that I would have been if I hadn't. So it really is something that needs to be put in your toolbox. Really does, y'all. So have a good night. go over and hit the lifeboat. I'm going to head over there. And then I think I'm going to get myself ready for, I've got to work on this blanket. It's due. I can't believe it. In like 10 days. Because the baby shower is in 10 days and I've got to get it done. So I've gotten pretty far in it. I just really have to keep working on it. But if I need to go to bed, I'm going to go to bed. So I think I'm going to wrap things up and probably go to sleep and wake up and start all over again. It's what I do. And we'll be back. I'll see if I'll stream at some point. Maybe I'll try to do something tomorrow afternoon. Because my other keeper comes on at 6 o'clock Pacific, or Central Time. And she comes on at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And I will be on her channel on Thursday. So maybe I'll hop on tomorrow. I'm going to try to work on the other channel too as well. I'm going to try to get that up and running tomorrow. But we also have the Sam's Club tomorrow. So we'll see. We will see. And then we're going to go some shopping this month too, because I'm going to start filling my little box, my birthday box, with some goodies. Oh, that'd be fun. That'll be fun. Just for the 48 states. I'm sorry for everybody, but I can't send it halfway around the world. So have a good night. Stay connected. And you know what? This is just an example of not giving up. I can look back saying, thank you, we started. And now it's time to find a new. And we'll move on. But don't give up. Don't give up on your mental health. It's too important, y'all. It is way, way too important. And if something ain't working, go to something else and try a new person, and it'll be okay. And you may have somebody even better behind the next door. All right. I love you all. You're tremendous support. I'm glad I had it today on a very difficult day. And you mean the world to me. Have a good night, y'all. Stay connected. And take care of yourself mentally. You have to. It's just as important as physical. They work hand in hand together. So stay connected. And I'll be back. My little happy, bubbly self. It just wasn't today. So I love y'all. Have a good night. Bye.